Hello guys and welcome. So in this video I wanted to make a what is video for the game Dying Light. So this video is aimed at beginners who don't know really anything about Dying Light. You might have heard of it, you might have heard of the upcoming release of Dying Light 2. Now this game is an open world first person survival horror action game based in a zombie apocalypse. But the zombie apocalypse is limited to the fictional city of Haram. So essentially, they are trying to contain the zombies within this one city, and your character, the one that you play, is called Kyle Crane. He is sent in to try and investigate and see if he can find any type of cure, anything at all. Because if he can, then if they can undo the zombie outbreak, then they, save the city, and that's the end of it. But they have a deadline, so if they can't finish it within that certain deadline, then they will firebomb and nuke and destroy the whole city, basically. Now, the difference in this game is that, one, it's first person, whereas you see a lot of other zombie games like Last of Us and Resident Evil that we covered just last couple of days, third person, so it's first person. Also, as well, in this sort of game, the zombies are, let's say, formidable. So you can't just get a spoon and kill 10,000 zombies. It's I'm actually quite late into the game, so I've got really good weapons. But when you first start the game, you really will find that it's actually better to run from the zombies. So there's zombies right there. It's better to run from them than it is to actually fight them in a lot of cases. And there's different rank of zombies. So there's the normal zombies, there's the screechers, who will basically sprint at you with all their might and even climb buildings to come and get you. There's the spitters, who basically the sort of big bloated zombies who will spit acid at you, almost like the bloaters in Last of Us, but not quite. And then at night time you have the nightmares. Now the nightmares, basically, they are, if they get you, you're dead. Simple as that. You have to run away, or you have to do anything you can to kill them or whatever. But if they get to you, you're not likely to survive. And they can run incredibly quickly. They can run almost even if you're in a vehicle. So let me quickly show you the vehicle I have in the expansion. The following, this car. Even if you're in this, they might be able to keep up with you. That's why they're called nightmares. And the different missions of the game have you sent around the world. So obviously, like I said, I'm late game, but as you can see in the bottom right, I don't have any ammo for this gun, or this gun, or it's actually better to use melee weapons, because as with any zombie survival game, weapons are scarce. Now, the good thing about this game is that 4-player online co-op is available, so any mission you're doing, 3 other players randomly can come join you, even if you don't have anyone to actually play with. You don't have to have people to play with. They can just join your lobby randomly if you set it to public. Now, this game was developed by Techland, and it's published by Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment. Now, Techland, believe it or not, were pretty much, when I became a content creator, they were the first company who ever approached me to do any sort of let's say sponsorship or sponsored game or whatever, and Dying Light happened to be the game they sponsored. So thank you, Techland, for that, and I am very much looking forward to Dying Light 2. Now, I am personally someone who suffers from severe anxiety, so having this situation of it is better to just run so all the time can trigger the sort of fight or flight hormone and so on. Now, as I say, so this zombie's coming at me. There we go. I have to be wary of this guy because he's got the, this explosive thing on his back. That's why I was worried about him. So, like I said, so it can trigger the fight or flight hormone if it goes on for too long. So if you get stressed playing the game, please take care of yourself. Don't stress yourself out. Now, with this game, a lot of the missions involve basically running through packs of zombies, obviously, so they want to stress you out as much as humanly possible, especially towards the end of the game. I won't spoil it, but there will be a lot of situations where you have to run through a lot of zombies. Now, it was originally planned to be released on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, but that was cancelled due to hardware limitations. But it did come out on Windows, on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, but even Linux apparently. So, and that was in January 2015. And Dying Light 2 is on the way. I will make a separate video to explain all the new things announced in Dying Light 2. Now, this game is incredibly fun when you're doing co-op. It's very, very, very fun. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. When you have 3 other players, especially if you know them, then you can have a hell of a time blasting through this world. There's nowhere near as much of a threat, especially in the following. The following being, like I said, the expansion. You get these vehicles, and you can just go around as a team and just obliterate everything. So yeah. Now, with the map of the game, you can see, for example, all the nests, all the areas you've cleared. So you can see here bolter feeding grounds and different missions on the map, areas I've not actually done anything about yet, where the next mission is and so on. So I'm slowly going through the map for the expansion, but you also have an entire city for the original game. For, let's see, oh yeah, there's bounty board and so on. You have the entire city of Haram, which is where the main game is based in. So yeah, I tell you what, let's go to Haram now. Okay, here we are. So we're now back in Haran. So you spend a lot of the beginning of the game around this tower. This is your safe zone. As you can see, even to get into the zone, you need to climb up. So this is obviously to protect you from zombies. So, but once you're out in the city, then you're like, uh-oh, and so on. Now, Dying Light did actually release a Battle Royale mode called Bad Blood, and I did play it. It was actually really, really fun. So, and I met some really nice people in it as well. So, now, this game, like I said, it does center a lot around the, like, parkour element. So, it is good to run away and so on. But like I said, some monsters can still get you even if you're on top of buildings, like the Screechers, for example. And you can see some rooftops will randomly just have zombies on them. Now, the other thing to note about this game is that you have certain weapons, okay? So you have, for example, I've got a whole variety of weapons. A scythe, a machete, a machine gun, which you don't get until much later in the game. And I would say if you're using these, don't use them sparingly, sort of thing, because you're very, very limited bullets. Now, at the bottom right, you can see that there's like a grey aura over the weapon. That's the amount of condition or quality it has left. Once it reaches 0, then you need to repair it. And the difference in this game, you can only repair a weapon twice, and that's it. Once a weapon is repaired twice, and it breaks again, you have to throw it away. Like, you can't do anything with it or dismantle it and so on. And again, the city is obviously huge. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of missions and so on. And there's billions of zombies in between everywhere. And eventually, the most scary missions for me in this game were the missions which involve tight spaces. Like, you go through a school corridor or whatever. Like, you can't escape. They're just tunnels, and you have to make your way through the zombies. Now, I can't recommend this game enough. Even with my anxiety and so on, I really, really enjoyed playing it. The story was good. The action was good. I always felt stressed, especially because of the fact, like I said, the zombies are actually formidable. So, like I said, it's a difference in style of gameplay. It's like, usually in these sort of, like I said, in these sort of zombie games, especially when you have like Dead Rising, like I kill like 10,000 zombies in 4 hours. In this sort of game, you might finish the whole game and not even kill 1,000. You might not even kill 500. That's how strong they are. And some of the zombies are so powerful that you might never kill them ever. Simple as that. So now, to add complication to the zombie apocalypse, it's not just zombies. There is faction groups, again, like in Last of Us and so on, like in most zombie games, who are causing trouble within the city of Haran. So they basically are like, they make it so much harder. So all the times supplies are being dropped for the surviving people, let's say, but you do not, if you don't get to them quick enough, then the other groups will steal them and so on. Which it almost is adding like battle royale elements to the main game, which is really interesting as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, so I would say as well, do check this game out, Dying Light, published by Techland. Very good game. There's the expansion, the following. The main story will probably take you about 20-ish hours if you run through it. And it's very, very interesting because you go into all the twists and turns of trying to find a vaccine and blah, 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 and what it will mean if you don't get there, and all the rest of it, and all the twists and turns. And you, Kyle Crane, are working for the GRE. You find out more about the GRE and stuff like that. And then other than that, like I say, guys, you really, this really is a proper survival game. So, for example, recently a few months ago, I played Evil Within 2, which tried to recreate this idea of open world and so on. But it was so open world, it wasn't a threat at all. You know what I mean? It was so easy to escape any monster. You could just run in any direction. But in this game, there's a lot of tight spaces. There's loads of zombies everywhere. Now, when it comes to finding supplies, a good idea, for example, is to look in the boots of cars. Maybe you'll just find a bullet. Maybe you'll find a little bit of crafting material and so on. There is crafting in the game, so you can upgrade your weapons and stuff like that. So, like, but it's kept light. Now, there is other random events in the game as well. So, of course, this game is very much centered around parkour. So you will have these like random events in the game, which is just sort of like race from like parkour from this event, this place to this place in a certain amount of time. So here, these challenges, and again, challenges. So you can do these challenges around the game. So if you have finished a game and you've done pretty much everything, then you can really just keep exploring. Now, these house symbols, they are safe zones. Initially, they're red, and you have to empty them out. If there's a gate open, you have to close the gate and so on, and clear out all the zombies within it, and then you can make it into a safe zone. Once it is a safe zone, it's a place you can go to save game, to rest up. If you have to go between day and night, you can just go to any safe zone, and you can rest up and get immediately to nighttime. You don't have to wait for it to become nighttime. And yeah. So, like I say, guys, that's Dying Light for you. I'm actually too scared to go any further than where I am. I'll be honest. Like I said, I'm freaking out right now because I know the amount of stress that these zombies can actually cause. You know, because I've done this game, I've finished it. So yeah. So beware, guys. Beware. Dying Light, highly recommend it. Great game. Really great game. Techland did a fantastic job, and I am very much looking forward to Dying Light 2. And this is from me talking as someone who's actually finished the game. So I highly recommend this game if you're into zombie survival games. Okay? Right. So okay, that's it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. You can watch a random video over there. You can watch the latest upload down there, or you can click down here to subscribe. Thank you guys. Bye bye.